Hello again! It's time for a new project, and the next thing on the list is RSS Engine Mounts. I've had some issues when I accelerate hard from second to third, where third gear doesn't engage properly, and it feels like it's because the engine is moving too much. So I think the engine mounts are due for an update, and the RSS engine mounts are probably one of the most praised upgrades I've heard or read or seen for this car, so I'm looking forward to it. But to see if it's worth it when it comes to both noise and everything, I will do some investigations here. I have a sound meter that I will mount on the windshield here, and I will measure the average noise over 30 seconds driving 50 kilometers per hour, 80 kilometers per hour, and 100. And then compare on the OEM engine mounts and then with the new RSS engine mounts. So it will be interesting to see how much noise there is and if it's actually worth the upgrade. I'm just finishing off the last projects before my track day, which I'm leaving for tomorrow. Yesterday I put on the easy lip. As you can see, when I put the rear up, it just clears, so that's all good. So now I'm putting on the RSS engine mounts, which I've planned to put on for a super long time, so hopefully I can just finish that off now quickly. I just noticed one little thing here on the instruction that came with. It says torque specification is 25 on the top bolts and 85 on the bottom. Well, I mean 83 and 25. But on my official repair manual, it says 23 and 85. So I think I'm gonna stick to the official repair manual. So let's get to work. You can see the engine mounts here, one on each side. Fairly easy accessible, but we do need to remove the airbox, which is held by a 13mm bolt here. So we take that away first. And then there's a clamp holding the air tube. And then we need to unplug the sensor. Then just lift it up, twist it, take it out. Looks to be good clearance everywhere. You can't take away these two hoses too, just take up this clip, pull them out, but I think I'll just keep them in. They don't seem to obstruct anything. Then we need to take pressure off the engine mounts. So you put a jack underneath the center lowest point of the engine. There's kind of a flat spot here where you can make the weight distribute pretty nice and evenly. Just jack it up so you can see that I moved up maybe 1 centimeter. Then we can just peek up here and you will see in kind of the corner of the exhaust, you will see one big bolt peeking down at you, which is the engine mount. It's an 18mm, so I'm gonna start by loosening that before I do the top. Doing one mount or one side at a time, so there's always one engine mount kind of holding everything correctly in place. Okay, you actually need a deep socket if you want to be 100% sure it doesn't slip. Alright, bolt came out and it looks horrible. It twisted super easily, so I wasn't sure what was going on. I thought I did something wrong, and I just kept twisting and suddenly this whole thing came out. Then, after the top bolts, the top side of the engine mount, the bolts are 13mm. First bolt came out easy. Use just a long pipe and put it on. Yeah. And you get the right angle and everything. Okay, second part out. And then just lift the engine mount out. So here we have the old, surprisingly light actually. It's about 1.2 centimeters. Don't really know if that's much sagging or not, but hopefully this will be a vast improvement. Oh, okay, this has been a proper nightmare. On each engine mount, this bolt just dropped out of the engine mount because the bolt was stuck. The first one I put on 2 bolts on the other end. Luckily I had someone that fit to counter and managed to loosen this without damaging it and reuse it. The top part went super easy, no problem at all, but I couldn't get the engine bracket high enough so that the square end of the mount would hit, so it would rotate when I tighten it. So I ended up taking this jack, putting this up to the engine mount, and then rise the whole thing. Nothing happened when I used this jack. And then I managed to get the frame high enough to get to the mount and tighten it and torque it correctly. So everything is just taken 10 times longer than it should. It's now 1 in the morning and I am supposed to get to work tomorrow. So, but I need this car to ride to work, so I need to finish it. So now I need to get this bolt off and then I can reserve or do the same thing again. Alright, I'm starting to run out of ideas here. Still can't get this stinking nut off. And here you can kind of see the issue with the other side. There's a pretty big gap between the mount and the frame that's holding the engine. So I have to try and rise it up at the same time, or at the same way here, so I can attach it and get the right torque specs. Okay, to top off this great miserable project, apparently I am stronger than a vice grip. Never seen this done before. So at 2 in the morning, the vice grip failed and broke, so I just had to go to bed. The next morning I took the bolt that was stuck and took it to the local garage before work. They managed to get the bolt off, so then I just had enough time to get back here and mount the last engine mount, which was the morning of the day I left for the track day. So it was a pretty stressful day. I did that first in the morning, then work, and then drove to the track day. So here you can see the engine mounts are finished installed on both sides. I had to raise the frame of the engine here to get it high enough to align to get to the engine mount, or to get high enough for the engine mount, but they are in place now. So what was supposed to be an half an hour long installation took almost a whole day. So that was about 3 weeks ago. They have worked perfectly so far, and now I can take a little ride and tell you about what I actually think about having them on my car. So again, it's now around 3 weeks since I got the RSS engine mounts installed, and I can give you a brief update of if I actually think it's worth it and how much extra noise it is. I could instantly feel a big difference in how the gearbox and just the way the car handled, basically, because the gear shifts are a lot more precise, and the problem I had with accelerating hard and going from second to third, where the car would not go into third gear, is luckily gone, which is why I did it the day before the track day. So while accelerating hard on the track, I never had a problem with the car not going into third, which is nice. The car also feels more precise and less jerky, because you can definitely feel that the engine is not moving around as much as it was. You didn't really notice it that much before because you didn't know what it was, but after changing the engine mounts you could really tell a big difference, because just accelerating and just changing weight distribution on the car, you could definitely feel just unsettlement from the engine, and that is now completely gone. So huge improvements performance wise, and driving performance and everything is much improved. When it comes to the sound, I can show you the comparison on the screen now, and you can see that the RSS mounts are in average, this is not exact measurements of course, but they're around 1 to 1.5 decibel more noisy, so you don't notice the noise much, the noise difference much. What I did notice though was that there are more vibrations. There are a few rattles that have come since I installed the engine mounts that have been pretty annoying. By the way, the rattle is from the area around here, I think. So if you know what it could be, let me know. Comments below. Some have kind of started and gone away, and some I need to figure out where they come from, but if you're into more precise gear shifts and you don't mind a tiny bit of extra rattles and a tiny bit of extra noise, then I think definitely these engine mounts are worth the upgrade. So when I do it again, recommend the upgrade, and the project is complete.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.